Okay, so while I was designing, I stumbled upon a couple of the things that I didn't mention. So, want to make sure you guys got this information. Okay, so I have this image that I'm working on for the Facebook project. This is my made-up event, and I wanted to add a photo of myself. So I came over here to Photos, Upload Photo, and the photos, yeah, that was that one. Okay, so I wanted to add this photo. Let me move this real quick. Okay. And I wanted to take out the background. So, well, that's not good. Let's see. All right, did it save it? Oh no. Okay, it saved it. Sweet. Okay, let me add the photo. There it is, and click on open. Don't crash, please don't crash. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna go ahead and click on this photo. When I click on this photo, there is this option over here. So I have remove background. If I clicked replace, it would actually replace this with another file that I would go to. That's not what I want to do. I want to remove the background. And when you do bring up a photo, there are some other stuff. There are other things you can do. There are filters. There are, you could do enhancements like contrast, white balance, stuff like that. And you can also add a blur. This is especially helpful if, I don't know if you've ever seen those posts before, where like, let's say they have a video kind of going in the middle and there's nothing on the side. So you basically enlarge a photo in the background and blur it out a bit. That's what I use this for, at least. So anyways, there are these extra things here. Now I want to go ahead and remove the background. And it does a pretty decent job with this. This is looking great. So if it wasn't looking that great, you can actually erase parts of it. So you would click on this and then, take off the parts you didn't want. You can also change the brush size to a larger size if you needed to. You can also restore. So let's say it cut out too much stuff. You can click on the restore and then add that back in. If it cut out the opposite of what you wanted to, let's say I actually wanted to keep the background for some reason, I can click invert and it would actually select the background instead. Okay, so now you can see, let me go ahead and click on erase, that it would only have the background instead. Let me go ahead and click invert again. Okay, cool. That's what I want. And if you want to just get rid of it and start over, you can hit clear cutout. So I'm going to hit the check mark up here. And now I have a cutout of myself from this photo. Sweetness. Once it stops turning. Okay, it stopped turning. So now I'm going to go ahead and enlarge this, and I want to put it right about here. So what I'm doing with this placement is I'm looking at the other objects. I don't want to, like, I feel like this umbrella area, the lighting is kind of distracting with me being over there, and I do want to have it over the H just a little bit. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And I'm using the arrow keys to just kind of play with this and move this around. Now, a quick tip. If you're like, how the heck did you get to this part? Like, if you're stuck on your design, one thing that I like to do is I just start putting everything that I know I need in there. So I just start putting in text, like put in this text. I know I need this text. I know I need this text. And then I can start moving things around and kind of try to get my mind around where I want this design, what I want this design to actually look like if I don't already have an idea. So for this design, I had the idea, okay, my event's going to be how to photograph your artwork. So then I searched for photo studio shots to use, and I found a couple different ones, but I thought this one would work great because it has the blank white background back here. I've got plenty of space for text. and I went from there. So anyways, let me continue on. Now the issue we're seeing right now is I do want the photo to be over the H, but I don't want it to be covering this. So right over here we have layers basically of all of our different stuff. So I want this layer to be underneath the January, the date and such. There we go. Perfect. All right, so you can move. I just basically clicked and dragged and moved it to where I needed it. Oh, you can see there's another photo back here that I was playing with. I'm just going to hit delete. All right. All right, there we go. Okay, and so you can see we have our different layers there. What else did I want to tell you guys? Like the image background. Resizing. So if you do need to resize this, let's say you accidentally selected the wrong size for this and you realize it later, there's actually a resize right here, and you can see there's a little crown here. So the crown means that it can only be used, that's the premium version, if you're a paying customer. You have a free account, so you should be able to access all of the paid stuff. And so here I can change it up. So let's say I really like this and I want to okay, now I want to make a Twitch banner instead, or a Twitter header or something else. Then I could change it to that size and rearrange my elements to make it work. Totally doable. Something else I wanted to show you guys was zooming. So we have the zoom tools down here. You can also click here to say you want, I move myself over, you want 200% or you want to fit inside the window, that kind of stuff. And you can also, this is a keyboard shortcut. This is for, you use Command for Mac or Control for PC, and then the plus or minus, and it will actually zoom in and out for you. So I use this all the time. It's the same thing that works in Photoshop and Illustrator and such, so it's really great that they made it so you can use it in here too. Something else I wanted to go over was colors. So when I chose the color for this text here, I wanted to base it off of the color that was over here on this umbrella. And I didn't get the exact color, but what you can do is, I clicked here. Let me move this around again. And if you click on this it looks like a little eyedropper, you can actually go around to an image and select a color straight from something else that's in here. So I went over here, I selected this color, but then I ended up moving this a little bit around. It's not the exact color, it's something I really liked. Now, if I wanted to copy that color and I wanted to use it for some other text, what's really great is we have this code here. So if you just select this and hit Command C for copy, or if you're on a Windows machine, it would be Control C. And then if I wanted to, well, these are already all that color, but if I then wanted to, if it wasn't this color and I wanted to change it, then I could come over here, click on the text color, and go ahead and just paste it right here, and it would change it to that color. So it's a really great way to keep your colors similar. That's really important in branding. We're going to be going over that soon, and a couple other little design things I wanted to point out to you guys while we're here. So you can see that there's all kinds of colors out there, but I decided to try to keep it kind of simple. I don't want to overwhelm people with too much color, and for my personal brand, I use a lot of purple. Purple stands for creativity, and so I love using purple for a lot of things. You'll see. And obviously, you look at my background, I got purple boxes, right? So I didn't go with this crazy bright purple, but I did want to go with that, with the purple that kind of matched these umbrellas back here. Another thing that you'll notice is I used 2 fonts. Generally in design, you want to keep it to about 2 fonts. Anything more is going to look too busy and start looking unprofessional. So I based my fonts off, I wanted something really strong, and I chose this not looking at the name at first, and what do you know, it's actually, the font is named Fresno Black. What? Okay, my new favorite font. And then I know that I wanted to have something like a script type of font going on for the your artwork, right? So I have the how to photograph, which is a very like, you know, strong, bold statement. It's confident because I'm going to teach you how to do this. And then your artwork, you know, that feels a little bit more personal script. It looks more like a handwriting. Yeah, so I wanted that to work together with that. And then I used the same font. Now, if you're used to using Illustrator or Photoshop, there's not as much control as those programs have when it comes to typography. If you want to use those programs instead, I'm completely fine with that. The lack of control kind of bugs me sometimes, and I like to use very specific fonts. There's not a way that I know of to upload fonts to the system like you can in Photoshop or Illustrator. So yeah. Okay, so I think those were the tips I had for you guys. I hope this helps out with your design process. Like I said, just start getting those elements in there, start playing around and moving things around. You know, and when I'm doing these things, it's not just like I just set things. I click here, I move it around. No, it doesn't look right. I make it smaller, make it bigger. Is it legible? Is it legible? That's a good thing. You think about how big it'll be on your phone. Okay, so that's about how big it is. Let me see. Let me pull my phone up, and I just have my phone and I'm putting it next to the screen just to see. And yeah, that's about as big as I would be on the phone. It looks like it's still pretty readable. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. All right, guys. So this is what you'll be using for your design projects. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun. So yeah, get at it.